bombing crushed dozens of the first New Yorkers to die. Travis Cooke ran down broad Flatbush, the solid lanes of cars bounded by humans moving much more quickly on the sidewalks. He found himself funneled through the streets, all the current now flowing to the Manhattan Bridge. The strangers looked at each other as they ran, confirming that this was really happening. From Brooklyn to Manhattan, and from there to New Jersey, a solid sweep of cars and bodies. The strange hush of the movement punctuated by honking horns, kids crying, and random shouts. It was a nightmare marathon, all jarring for position. Travis saw individuals in small groups huddled in the crowd's eddy spaces, sobbing, giving up already, or simply unable to act. There was a teenage girl he saw sitting on a bench, as if she were waiting for a bus. She stared at the rush of people. He thought about stopping. At the Manhattan Bridge, the bottleneck of escapees impeded his progress. Bodies pressed into Travis's, 100 voices grunting, crying, shouting in his ears. His world shrunk to those bodies immediately around him. The drugs in his blood still made him dizzy, but running straight was easy, and his body was waking up quickly from the emotional and physical stress. Crossing the river took close to 10 minutes. Then they poured out into the streets of Manhattan, across Chinatown, where buses filled up and forced their exit through crowds, horns honking. He ran up Christie to 2nd Avenue, his feet heavy, sweat pouring from his temples. Everyone was running now in their own direction, to tunnels, bridges, trains, and buses. He ran uptown for 20 minutes, the tempo of his footfalls searing themselves into his mind, blocking out any thoughts of the equally frantic humans he passed by. "Travis!" he heard, and he stopped to look around. His eyes couldn't focus on the shape approaching him. He tried to squint, but the sweat dripped and burned, making him shut his eyes. He felt his knees trembling with weakness, and he leaned over, hyperventilating. A hand was on his shoulder. "Travis, where you going?" The voice was one he hadn't heard in a while, a drinking buddy from Midtown days. "Karina and Darren," Travis managed. "Travis, listen to me." The hand held him more firmly then, or he would have fallen over. "Get crosstown to the piers. They're bringing in every goddamn ship on the sea to get people out. I just spoke with someone at Grand Central, and it's no use. They'll be running trains out till we're underwater, and they won't get all those people out. But I got my cell phone. I was able to get on the internet. The bridges and tunnels are jammed. People have started abandoning their cars, and they're blocking everything. The president has mobilized the Navy, private ships, everything, and they're all going to the piers. That's the last hope, Travis. I gotta go." Travis's head was down by his knees. He reached into his pocket, although he knew he wouldn't find his inhaler. His fingers dug into the palm of his hand as his chest burned with each asthma-constricted breath. How many minutes was he wasting? He forced himself upright and blinked his eyes clear. He put one leg in front of the other and began jogging again. After a few hundred yards, he crossed 2nd. The security door of the building was broken. The lobby was quiet. Both elevators waited on the ground floor. He pressed the button and got in. In the elevator, the quiet scared him. He wondered if the doors would open and everyone outside would be dead. Finally, the elevator stopped and opened. He ran down the hall and banged the door of 1115. "Jesus, it's you," the tall, thin man said, opening the door. Travis pushed through him. "Where's Darren?" "Dad!" The boy swept into his arms, and Travis closed his eyes, forgetting about the man standing over him. As he held his son so tight he knew he was hurting him, but he couldn't stop. He tried to slow his breathing down and heard his own heartbeat in his head. He released his son and stood up. Karina Adamson stared at him from the bedroom door. Travis looked from her to the man and said, "I tried to call, but the network was overloaded. We've been trying to get a line too, trying to find a way out," the man said. His name was Jerry Adamson. He stood half a foot taller than stocky Travis. "The highways are jammed. I was able to get a text to my cousin, and he's been stuck for 2 hours on the turnpike. But now I can't get anything else. The internet connection keeps going out. We were about to get the car and take the Tappan Zee." "The West Side Piers," Travis said. "I ran into someone coming up here. He told me the only option left is by sea. They're evacuating from the west side." "By sea?" Karina said. "How can we escape a tsunami by sea?" "I don't know, Karina. But if the president is ordering ships to pick up refugees, I would think they know what they're doing." Jerry rejected the idea. They had a car. They didn't have to risk everything on a desperation play. "We don't have time to argue," Travis said.